My name is Chief Inspector Sylvia Reu. Currently the staff officer to ACP Operations, Police Headquarters. I've been a police officer for about 20 years now, graduating from the colleges. I'm like a pioneer cadet when the cadet system was reintroduced into the Constabulary. It was a long story. I actually didn't want to be a police officer because my father's now a retired police officer. I had an elder sister who's also a policewoman, so I tried to stay clear from the Constabulary, but and went to university. Then I decided, no, I'll just go and join the police. So I joined as a cadet when they reintroduced the cadet system, graduating as one of two officer cadets. The challenges there being coming from the university, from the outside. Although being in the police, family was an advantage for us. It was difficult in the sense that we were going to become officers, and not having come through the ranks, we had to lead. We had to be in front. We had to command and control. Members of our units would be majority male, so that was a big challenge for me when I graduated. But that's not to say that I was given we were both, my colleague and I, we were given opportunities to command units. So when I graduated, I became police station commander at Hohola in Port Moresby. I was the only woman at the police station. We had a total number of personnel. There was about 60, and I was the only woman there. So that was a bit of a challenge. I'll tell you a funny story. They wanted to see the boss, and I told them I was the boss, and they said, no, I still want to see the boss. So you can, the perception that sometimes the boss has to be the man. Yeah, so that's just the story I'd like to. The journey after that was difficult. It was easy in the sense that I had a lot of male support from my father, from other senior officers who knew me from outside the police. The challenge was that I had to prove that I was able to be in those senior positions. But up to where I am now, as I've worked as staff officer, executive officer to the top management of the Constabulary. Acted as a liaison officer to the minister, so at very high in the top management of the Constabulary. Those are some of the challenges for me, but it was good. I've had that exposure, that experience. It's about having a good team, because I don't think we would do it alone, especially in the type of work that we did. We have male and a lot of female support. So it's about not going out and stepping on other people's toes, because we're all different. The way we manage, the way we would lead would be different from another male. But for us, the advantage is being able to have empathy. Mm-hmm. They know that their welfare, we can look into. The commissioners just appointed an assistant commissioner. She's now deputy to the deputy chief of the Bougainville Police. She's Assistant Commissioner Joanne Clarkson, whom we're very proud of. She's setting the pace for all of us. We, with the government's introduction to increasing the police strength, because our ratio to the community is a bit low. We've got currently just over 700 police women. Many of them are young, just coming. We've increased, from the 1977 introduction of police women into the Constabulary. There were 6 initial police women then, and now we have 700. So we're doing okay. Our challenge is getting them into those managerial positions. At the moment, there's 1 assistant commissioner, 2 chief inspectors, and the rest a couple of inspectors, and the rest are all other ranks. So, but we have some very powerful women in those other ranks who lead units, who are in charge of stations, rural police stations, who are in charge of police units. We've got women in the traffic division. We've actually got a cyclist whom we're proud of. Sometimes you'll see her on a motorbike. We've got one woman just joined the dog unit, so she's finding her way around the dog kennel, but she's going to do okay, I'm sure. Yeah. I think my advice to them would be to be committed. When you're committed to your job, now because a lot of the managers are men, our OICs and provincial police commanders are male officers. If you're committed to your job, you're dedicated to doing the basic stuff, the core functions of our work. That would be my advice. Be committed to your job, focused, have a good sense of, have some pride in the things that you do, and not to forget that our clients, our customers, they're only human.